we've just entered 1 PM here, so the battle has now been going on since 10 AM. So we've been going for 3 hours now in this battle. To finish off the last turn, the British frigates, the Blanche, they had to drop one of their retain cards because they've only got one mast, so they can only retain one card. So they've got a bear away card now. And the French frigate, they have a windward card and a leeway card. Now the command values are down to 3.5 for the British and 4.5 for the French ship. The British has suffered a bit more loss on the mast there, but that does still entitle both the ships to draw 2 cards. And the movement points are 5 for the French now, and we're down to 3 movement points for the British, being down to just 1 mast on their frigate under normal wind condition. Let's draw cards for the British. We've got a leeway and more sails. And we've got a chain shot and bear up. That could help them. And for the French, we've got a leeway and backing sails. And we've got a windward and backing sails. Fine. Let's draw the initiative now. So the Pique again, still highest to the wind, drawn an initiative now. 25, that's going to be hard to beat again. 25 up there, and we've got 17. So again, a gallant effort, bold effort from the British. They just can't get ahead. So the initiative is just not going the British way now. So again, the French frigate Le Pique to start. What can they do this time? So they could... So if they were to turn down now, they couldn't make 2 turns in 1 hex. They'd have to crash in close combat. So that's not advisable for them. Now I think they can cut across and do a... Yeah, you get a rake if you're targeting the bow of the ship as well. So I've always seen stern rakes so far in this game. But it does say if targeted ship's stern or bow is hit in direct line, roll 1 additional die. So we could move to go against the bow, which would be quite a good move for them. And I think they're going to do that actually. So this time we're going to use a different sailing manoeuvre to start moving down the map. And they're just going to reach down for 1 movement point. And they're reaching down 1 movement point there. So they're going to have 4 movement points left after this particular encounter. So I'll have to try and remember that 4. And well, they need to drop a card to fire. They haven't got a chain shot, unfortunately. So they're going to drop... well, they've got 2 leeways and 2 windwards, plus some backing sails and more sails. I think they're going to drop... they're going to drop a leeway one. Leeway backing sails are going to drop to fire this... to fire up the starboard now. Just put this in line so... Yes, they're firing starboard. So that is a rake, I believe. So that's a bow rake. So we've got a distance of 1, and now the ship condition is down to 8 still. So again, this is going to be quite high for them. So that's a firepower of 5. So they do get the additional rake bonus, roll 1 additional die. They are going to be targeting the... they'll target the rigging still. They'll target the rigging still, just so they can get the +1 firepower. Got 6 firepower, 3 die. Let's see what happens. Oh. That's a high roll. 12. That's at 17. 17. That is a good hit with a firepower of 6 in this particular battle. So firepower of 6. And hit all the way up there of 16. This is going to be a big hit for them. 2 RS plus a special event. Right, so let's add this onto the sheet up here. So we've got 2R, an S, that takes away the repair, plus a special event. So the Blanche is down to only 3 ship condition now, and only 3 rigging condition, so it's not looking good at all for them. Le Pique got a good hit there. Now, what's this special event going to be? This rare event. Hopefully not 10 again. If this is 10, this would be a bit spooky. That's a 4 this time. So 4 is fire at the targeted ship. Mark the targeted ship as on fire at the status sheet and check for further results at the end of the turn. So wow, so the Blanche is now on fire. This is making matters terribly worse for them. So we've got a fire ship. So you put that on the status sheet, and then at the end of the turn we'll just have to see if that fire delivers any more damage. So Le Pique still does have a remaining movement points of 4 here, and they can still play an additional card if they choose to. And they are going to. This is interesting. So they can actually play their Windward card here now. They don't want to turn their back towards the Blanche too much. They don't want to open themselves to a rake if they can help it. They're going to play Windward as a second card. So Windward would allow them to move up to there. That's 3 movement points. They have to use all their movement points up. They wouldn't really want to move down, but they have to. That's 4, so that's the end of Le Pique's turn. So the Blanche could start to take advantage here, but is it too little, too late? What can the Blanche do? They're down to 3 movement points only. They're going to be going against the wind here, unless they make some special manoeuvres. Tantalisingly, if they had 4 movement points, they'd be able to get there for a rake, but they don't. And in actual fact, if they moved up 1, they wouldn't be within a 60-degree firing arc. So the Pique does have an advantage here. They need a bear up, which they do have that card. But then they're going to be bearing up into the wind, which means they'll be drifting at the end of the turn. But saying that though, they do have a bear away card as well, which would count as their 2 movement attempts. But they also have a chain shot available, but that's on the same card as bear up. So there's a lot of considerations here. It's very tricky to actually work out in this game what to do for the best. It's the wind factor that's causing the problem. They don't want to be facing the wind which is coming directly from north to south. So they could well be drifting at the end of this game. I haven't practiced the drifting rules yet, so maybe that could be an interesting situation if we get to that. If their ship doesn't explode in the fire. It's these movement points that are the problem. They really are limited in what they can do now. And this is the game. This is what makes this game interesting. How do you get out of these sort of situations? Just trying to think. They could actually bear away and then go against the wind, and then play their chain shot. But they've only got 1 mast, so I'm not sure chain shot counts as a sailing manoeuvre. It doesn't, so they're going to make their 1 sailing manoeuvre, which is a turn, like that, and then they're going to go 1. Then they're going to fire their chain shot. Then afterwards they're going to move forward 2 movement points. So they are going to fire now, so they've got a chain shot available, which we're going to play up there. So Blanche is attempting to come back here. The Blanche is going to attempt, well, why not attempt the ship condition this time? Let's try against the ship condition and try and bring it down. Just out of difference. So we've got a distance of 2, and the ship condition is now down to 3, only 3 for them. It's still a firepower of 2. I do get to roll 3 dice for the British ship, and this time we are targeting the ship condition. Well, actually, we need to target the rigging, sorry. So we have to target the rigging to play the chain shots. This is a rigging. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 12 if we target the rigging. So dive roll of 12 on the firepower of, what did we say it was? We said it was 2, didn't we? It's just an R. So it's never R for the Pique. See, it's going to be very difficult now for the British to catch up here. So on the second row of the rigging condition, Pique still has 3 squares left. And we have to finish this turn. 1, 2, fine. That's all the movement done. The now need to do the clean-up phase. So the Blanche can only keep 1 card, which is either bear away, leeway, or leeway and more sails. They're going to get rid of leeway and more sails and keep their options open. Do a quick shuffle of the deck. We need to take away the initiative markers, rebag them up. And now we need to roll on the fire table because the Blanche is on fire. So they've got a chance of extinguishing the fire here. Let me just turn the player aid over. Check for fire. There you go. So that's a check for fire table up there. So it says roll 2 dice and modify the result. So that's a 5, that's an 8. And then it says +1 rigging status for number of masts on the ship. That's a 9. So luckily for them, 9 is fire extinguished. So there was a little fire on board, but now we've extinguished that fire. But they're still in a lot of trouble. They've got 3 shipping condition left and 3 rigging condition. So at least they didn't explode. It's going to be hard to see how they can fight back now. So that's the clean-up phase done. We'll mark that on the sheet. So in this next turn, so it's now 1:30 PM, Pique is going to be able to draw another 2 manoeuvre cards. And the command value of the British ship is now 1.5 for the ship. So it's 3.5. 3.5 command value, which still is 2 cards for them. So the British are drawing their cards now, and they get a leeway and more sails. And chain shot and bear away. The chain shot could help the British there make a comeback again, but we'll see. And then the Pique draws a special manoeuvre. That's definitely going to help them. And they also draw a leeway and backing sails. So initiative again. Can the Blanche take initiative this time? So Pique draws 25 again. Lucky drawing. So it is hard if you're below the winds to actually get the initiative, because I don't think this is academic again, a 7. So maybe in this game the strategic decisions about where to sail to the wind is not very good for the Blanche really. They wanted to be getting higher to the wind in this game. So let's see what Pique is going to do now. There's no chain shot available for them. They've got just trying to think if they can do a bow rake again. They've got 2 movement allowed. They haven't got the right cards to actually. They haven't got any bear ups or bear away. So that's not going to help them. 1 special manoeuvre is not going to help them. They could get close though. See if they go. So go. They don't want to get away from the top row though, because they could have just come down this row, but then they're going to lose the initiative, and why would they want to do that? Why risk that? So they can just, do a simple shot if they want to. If anything, they want to be keeping higher to the wind. So that's one. Yes, I've still got 4 movement points which they have to use up later on. They are going to do a fire from that distance, and they are going to be targeting the ship condition, because the ship condition of the Blanche is now down to 3. So they're going to be dropping. They're going to keep windward because that could be tactically good for them, because that uses up 3 movement points if they don't want to get too far away. They're going to be dropping leeway and backing sails because that's a duplicate card for them. And now they're going to be rolling a distance of 2, targeting the rigging. Targeting the ship condition this time. If they're targeting the rigging though, they could actually start to take off the last mast. They can sense an advantage of targeting the ship condition at this stage though. So distance is 2, and the ship condition is 8. So firepower is 4 firepower this time. And they're not going to get the +1 for targeting rigging. And they're not using chain shots, so they're simply going to roll 2 dice and apply the results against the ship. That's a 7. So on the ship chart, the die roll is 7, and the firepower is 4. That's lucky. So because if it was a firepower of 3, it'd be S, but with a firepower of 4, it's 2S. So the Blanche really is in trouble now. They're down to their last ship condition, and one more hit is going to be sunk the ship there. So this is why they're keeping the momentum going here. Right, they've got 4 movement points now. And what they're going to do is they're going to play a windward just to keep in range now. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3, and then 4. Fine. So they're keeping in range here. They're ready to deliver that killer blow next turn, maybe. It's hard to see what Captain Faulkner can do now. Especially when he's down to, what, 3 movement points for 1 mast in normal wind? So he hasn't got much movement allowance at all. He's just like a sitting duck, really, isn't he? The best he can hope for is a fire now, and perhaps, you know, explode the Pique if he's really lucky. So let's see what he can do just out of interest. So he's got a bear away card, which is not going to help him at all. He's got a leeway card, which is going to move away out of the sideway away from the wind. It's just going to send him further away. Now what he's going to do is he's just going to play a fire now. He's going to fire back and just hope that he gets a special event. So he's dropping his leeway and leeway card. And now he's going to fire back. Where does he target? What can cause the most damage to? He's going to target the rigging, even though the second row is still got 3 to go, just for the fact that, you know, if he can get their movement down, then he's got a chance of finally catching up and turning away. But it doesn't look good at this stage, I have to say. So he is targeting the rigging with a normal fire shot, and the firepower this time, it's going to be low. He's only got 1 ship condition, and distance is 3. So his firepower is literally 1 now. So the firepower is just 1 only. No more modifiers. He's targeting the rigging. 3 die for the British. Four, 5, 6, 12. That's not a bad die roll. So die roll is 12 and the firepower is 1. So even though they're targeting the rigging, they've got to hit into the ship. So there you go. So ship condition is down to 7 now for the Pique there. So he did that immediate fire back, and now what's going to happen is he's going to move away. He's got to move away 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm just looking at the cards now. It looks like I've been mixing the card up slightly in that round. So should some of them cards have been the Pique's cards? But I think so. But you know, not going to worry too much about that. That's what's happened. So let's just carry on with this game and see what happens. So that's the end of their turn. That's the end of both turns. Now we've got to do the clean up. So nothing's on fire this time. So we're simply going to remove these initiative markers. It's looking like this battle could all be over by 2 PM. So we're starting 2 PM turn now. Yeah, we've still got the same. They still get 2 cards each. So let's carry on and hopefully hopefully we get the cards right way round this time. So the British draw a chain shot back in sails. They've got 2 chain shots now. They should have actually played the chain shot the other time. And a chain shot bear away. Saying that though, they should have dropped one of their cards as well. So they would have been left with 1 card because they've got 1 mast. So that's fine. So they've got 3 cards left. And then La Pique, they could have kept their 2 cards. They've got bear away back in sails and bear up leeway. Let's draw initiative. La Pique is looking to end the battle here if they can get 1 hit to the ship condition. 24. 24, that's going to be unbeatable, surely. What we're seeing now is the La Pique, who's got the initiative. They're closing in on the Blanche. So they are down to 5 movement points. So we've got 1, 2. They're going to use a bear away card to turn out of the wind. Now, if you're going from north to south, the wind behind you, that's 1.5 movement points each. So that's 3.5, and they have to use it their full movement allowance. That takes it up to 5. So they've now got a ship condition of 6, a range of 2, which means they've got 3 firepower, and they're going to roll 2 dice targeting the ship condition. Any hit of the ship condition now will sink the Blanche now, so the French are now looking for a quick end to this game. So it's a 4, that's a 5. Let's see what that is. So if we're targeting the ship, we've got a dice roll of 5, and we've got a firepower of 3, which would be ship rigging plus a special event. So with that, the Blanche takes a rigging hit, which means they've only got 2 rigging left, and a ship hit, which means they've got no ship condition left, plus a special event. We don't even need the special event. The Blanche is sunk. That's the end of the game. So in this particular game, La Pique has won the day. Just after 2 PM, about 2:15 PM, and the Blanche is sunk. So we played 9 turns in this particular game, and it was quite a engaging game, this one. You have to say though that the French did have an advantage most of the way. I think the turning point in this battle was when they got a very strong rake against the Blanche, and then when there's like 1 square away from each other, they was trading shots at each other there, and La Pique really used the advantage of the targeting the rigging really, because the French get a bonus for targeting rigging. If they play a chain shot, that adds up to the bonus, and if they play a rake, that also gets a bonus as well. So them three in combination was really powerful for the French. The British roll more die because they have better guns, but the main problem for the British was they wasn't able to grab initiative. Now the British nearly got an advantage early on when the captain of the Pique was nearly killed, but it turns out that the captain was, you know, just a near miss really there, and Pique could have taken a very early advantage. Well, sorry, a very big advantage late on in the game where they caused the Blanche to go on fire. So the Blanche was really lucky to be able to put out that fire, because that could have ended the game quite, you know, before 2 PM. That could have ended the game. So this has been an interesting game, certainly. I'm not going to say that every move was right in this game. I know there's some moves that were wrong. You know, we added up some modifiers wrong, we was playing the wrong cards on some point, and when we was considering the moves, we was considering them moving the wrong way at one point. But I think it's fair to say that this game is fairly easy to pick up, and once you've learnt the rules, it is quite a quick play game. Now, this has been with 2 ships. I'm really going to be interested in learning what the additional rules are for squadrons. The next stage in this game is to actually learn to use 2 single ships together, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, what's the difference. Can you fire the ship both sides to target 2 ships? Because that's possible in this game. See how the 2 ships can start to work together to cause some damage. That'll be interesting. Squadron rules are going to be very interesting, a whole new set of rules to learn. And I think the close combat rules are definitely going to be interesting as well, because people who have played with the close combat rules, they say it's almost a game in itself. So I'm going to be using a lot more cards in the close combat rules, I believe. I haven't read the rules yet. I'll have to see how that works out. I mean, you know, this is an exciting first stage. This is just the first stage, working towards the Battle of Trafalgar. So I do have that Trafalgar set on order. I just can't imagine what it's like trying to command, you know, maybe up to 30 ships either side. I mean, you see all the paperwork involved in just 2 ships using the simple rules. So can you imagine how many cards are going to be involved when we're using 30 ships a side? How many ship conditions we'll have to keep track of, you know? These frigates, they're quite small ships. I mean, you've got 32 guns on the Blanche and 36 guns on the Pique. The ship conditions are 9 and 10, and the rigging conditions are 15. But we're going to be fighting with much more bigger ships that can take much more damage and also can deliver a lot more damage. You know, we're working in the bottom quarter of the firepower table in this game, but, you know, we're going to get ships that can fire up to 40, you know, they'll have ship condition up to 40. They'll have, you know, high firepowers. You know, the firepower could turn into 20 maybe. I think the highest we got in this game was probably 5 or 6. So that some of the ships are going to be able to fire 4 times as more power. So this is a really exciting game. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how we can explore different scenarios. I think there's going to be a lot more strategic options in the next few games. This is really just to show you the basics of moving and firing and how easy it is to pick up the game. So I think it's fairly easy. Even on my 3rd try, you know, I've made a few mistakes. That's not a disaster. And I look forward to showing some more videos. So if you've enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments section. And if you want to see more videos, please let me know as well. If you want to see different types of games tried out, let me know as well. Although I will try and keep this channel exclusively for the very highest quality, the very best rated games by players. And, you know, I think we've achieved it certainly with this game. I look forward to seeing you again. So please support this channel, please subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next time when we'll fight another game of Admiral's Order. Thank you for watching.